Stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this message. Listen to me right now with your whole heart. Heaven aligned time itself to bring you here today because your soul desperately needs my peace. Now come closer and let me speak softly to the part of you that is most tired. You did not find this video by accident. My hand guided your spirit to this exact intersection of time. You have been walking through a very heavy season of silence. You pray every single night. You pour out your heart in the dark, but the sky feels like brass above your head. You wonder why my voice has gone completely quiet. You look at your life, and you see only closed doors. And you have started to believe the lie that my silence means I have abandoned you. I know exactly how exhausted your soul feels right now. You are tired in your bones. You are tired in your thoughts. You have been carrying the weight of so many silent battles alone. You pretend that you are strong for the people around you. You smile when your heart is breaking. You always become the refuge for others while you have no place to rest your own head. My child, I have seen every single tear you shed in secret. I was there when you cried quietly in your room, so no one would hear your pain. Pause right here and receive my deep love. Comment Amen if you feel my presence stepping into your day right now. Let this small act of faith anchor your spirit before we go any deeper into the truth. You have looked at the lives of people around you and you felt left behind. You see them receive their blessings easily, while your journey feels like a constant struggle. You ask yourself what you did wrong to deserve this isolation. You wonder if your faith is too weak. You wonder if I am punishing you for mistakes you made in your past. But hear me with the deepest part of your heart. I saw you at 3 in the morning when the world was completely still. I watched your mind race through every worry and every possible failure. The knot in your stomach was so tight that you could barely breathe. You felt so completely alone in that darkness. You whispered my name, but the room remained silent. And that silence felt like a heavy verdict against your worth. You are my chosen warrior. You have fought so many battles that nobody else will ever understand or appreciate. You have given your pure love to hands that did not know how to hold it safely. You have poured out your energy until your vessel became completely empty, and now you are sitting in the ruins of your own strength. You feel like you cannot take even one more step forward. The noise of the world has become so loud around you lately. It fills your mind with constant anxiety and heavy doubt. It tells you that your dreams have expired. It whispers that you will always remain stuck in this painful loop of disappointment. You try to read your scriptures, and you try to pray harder, but the static in your mind blocks the warmth of my embrace. You have tried every single human method to fix your life. You changed your habits, and you watched your thoughts. You read books, and you listened to teachers. Each path gave you a tiny moment of relief, but the deep heaviness always returned. Now you feel slightly embarrassed to hope for another breakthrough. You feel like your spiritual energy has been completely drained by the effort. But listen closely to my voice in this quiet moment. My silence is never my absence. When you think I am doing nothing, I am actually doing the most profound work for your future destiny. The world teaches you that action must always be loud and visible. It teaches you that if you cannot see the results, then nothing is happening. But heaven operates on a completely different law. I am the God who works behind the scenes of your life. I am the architect of the unseen realm where your real battles are fought and won. While you are weeping over a closed door, my hands are already building a foundation that no human enemy can ever destroy. I am moving people away from you because they cannot walk into your next season. I am altering timelines for your safety. You have been a giver your entire life. You always look for the pain in others and you try to heal them. You forgive people who never apologize to you. You cover their flaws with your sincere kindness while you absorb their toxic toxicity. And when you needed someone to stand by you, you looked around and found yourself completely alone. You asked me why your pure heart is always met with pain. I saw every single time you were left out. I counted every moment you felt invisible to the people you loved the most. My child, you were not invisible to me. I allowed that isolation to happen because I needed to separate you from environments that were shrinking your faith. I had to draw you away from old foundations that could no longer support the massive destiny I have for you. What you have called a painful delay is actually a holy protection. I am protecting you from rooms you are not ready to enter. I am shielding your gentle heart from wolves disguised as sheep. The silence you hate so much is my way of keeping you safe while the storm passes over your head. If I gave you the answers right when you demanded them, it would have ruined the harvest. I know your physical body is carrying the trauma of these years. Your shoulders are always tight with anxiety. Your chest feels restricted when you think about tomorrow. You wake up with a feeling of dread before your day even begins. You have forced yourself to push through the fatigue for so long that your body has forgotten how to relax. You are constantly in survival mode. But I did not create you to merely survive in fear. I designed your spirit to run freely with joy and divine receptivity. When you were a child, your heart knew how to trust my rhythm without effort. You did not worry about provision or validation. You simply lived in the light of my presence. Then the heavy pressures of life came and buried that beautiful signal under layers of noise. You began to believe that everything depended on your own strength. You took the steering wheel of your destiny and you drove yourself into deep exhaustion. You thought that if you stopped striving for even 1 second, your whole life would fall apart. And so you kept running on empty tanks. You kept fighting battles that were never meant for your human shoulders to carry alone. That is why I had to create this holy pause in your life. I allowed the silence to grow so that you would finally stop running away from my love. I had to let your own strength fail so you would lean on mine. Lift your eyes from the dust of your battlefield and look at my face right now. I am not angry with your weakness. I am not disappointed by your trembling faith. There is something immense shifting in the spiritual realm right now. While you are sitting here feeling stagnant, angels are moving at my command to clear your path. I am preparing an answer that will completely shock your expectations. But you must be awake, and you must be receptive to receive this divine provision. If you let distraction pull you away now, you will miss it. Breathe in my peace right now. Let your tight shoulders drop. Let the racing thoughts in your mind fade into the background. I have heard every single prayer you ever whispered into your pillow. Not one word was lost. Not one tear was wasted. The silence you are experiencing is the quietness before the thunderstorm of my favor breaks open over your entire life. Stay right here with me for the next few minutes. I am about to reveal the exact reason behind every delay you have suffered. I am going to show you how the enemy blocked your signal and how we are going to break that chain today. Listen with the deepest place of your heart because your breakthrough is closer than you think. You look at your reflection in the mirror every single morning. You wash your face with cold water to hide the tracks of your tears. You immediately put on a brave smile for the rest of the world. You step out of your house and you pretend that everything is absolutely perfect because you do not want anyone to know how broken you truly feel inside. You carry a heavy fortress around your heart. You protect everyone else from your own darkness. People look at you and they see someone who is incredibly strong. They come to you whenever their own lives begin to fracture and break apart. You listen patiently to their many painful complaints, and you freely give them your last ounce of emotional comfort because you care deeply about their happiness. You pour your energy into their empty cups until you have nothing left. Then you quickly return to your quiet room. You sit alone in the absolute dark now. You feel completely hollowed out by the heavy demands of your life. There is a very specific ache inside the center of your chest. It is a physical weight that sits just behind your sternum every single minute. You try to take a deep breath, but the air catches in your throat. You feel like you are constantly suffocating under an invisible pressure that never lifts. You sleep for 8 hours, but you wake up feeling completely exhausted in your spirit. Your mind never truly rests because you are always anticipating the next big disaster. I saw you when you hid on the cold bathroom floor last week. You turned the faucet on high so the sound of the water would cover your crying. You pressed your face into a soft towel to stifle the sounds of your deep sorrow. You did not want your family or your friends to see your weakness. You felt so deeply ashamed of your own brokenness in that painful moment. And you wondered how a chosen child could ever feel so completely defeated. You have always been a pure-hearted giver in a world full of takers. You give your absolute best effort to people who only calculate what they can gain from you. You show up for them during their darkest nights, but they disappear when your storm arrives. You have been betrayed by hands that you personally fed with your own resources. You sit alone with your massive disappointment. You feel so deeply misunderstood by everyone around you. The hardest part of this entire journey is the silence of my presence. You can handle the cruelty of the world if you know that I am speaking to you. But lately, every single prayer feels like it hits a thick ceiling of stone. You scream my name into the quiet room, and you receive absolutely no response. You look for a tiny sign or a whisper of direction in your circumstances, and when nothing changes, the heavy silence feels exactly like a total rejection. You have started to turn that heavy silence against your own soul. You examine your past actions to find the hidden reason for my absence. You wonder if you are being punished for the mistakes you made years ago. You tell yourself that your faith is simply too small to move my heart. You watch other people receive their sudden blessings while you remain completely stuck in the mud, and you quietly conclude that you are simply not good enough for my favor. My child, I need you to listen to the absolute truth right now. I am not punishing you. I have never once looked at you with eyes of condemnation or heavy anger. Your mistakes were already washed away by my grace before you even committed them. The belief that I am hiding from you because of your unworthiness is a terrible lie. You are guarding a deep wound that the enemy inflicts upon your mind every single day. You must stop blaming your broken heart. You feel like you are trapped in a dark cave where no one can hear you. You look at the walls of your life and you see no visible exit sign. You have tried to think your way out of this emotional maze for many months. Your thoughts run in endless circles until your brain feels completely paralyzed by the stress. You are so tired of pretending that you have everything under perfect control. You just want to drop the heavy bags and rest your soul. You look at your family history and you see the exact same pattern. You see the constant financial lack that restricted the dreams of your parents. You see the broken relationships that left your loved ones bitter and completely alone. You recognize the same dark clouds gathering over your own children lately. You feel a sudden terror that you are destined to repeat their tragic history, and you feel entirely powerless to break the invisible chains of your past. You are fighting an invisible warfare that drains your physical energy every day. The enemy does not attack your body with visible weapons or loud armies. He attacks your mind with quiet whispers of hopelessness when you are most vulnerable. He tells you that your current suffering is your permanent condition in this life. He reminds you of every door that closed to convince you that hope is dead, and you have slowly started to agree with his dark narrative. I saw you when you stood in the kitchen and stared out the window for an hour. I saw the empty look in your beautiful eyes as your hope faded away. I was there when you wanted to give up on your calling completely, because the resistance was too fierce. I watched you squeeze your eyes shut to force the heavy thoughts out of your mind. Not a single movement of your silent agony was hidden from my sight. I felt every single pang of your sorrow. You are tired of the constant fighting. You are tired of the spiritual discipline that seems to yield absolutely no physical results. You have fasted, and you have sown your seeds of faith in tears. You have followed every piece of spiritual advice from the teachers you trust the most. Yet you wake up to the exact same bank account and the same broken relationships. Your soul feels a deep weariness that sleep can never truly cure. You have started to think that you are the tragic exception to my love. You believe that my promises work perfectly for everyone else, except for you. You hear the glowing testimonies of your brothers and sisters in the church community. You smile for them outwardly, while your heart sinks into a deeper level of isolation. You wonder why my hand moves so powerfully for strangers while it remains entirely still for you. You feel completely forgotten by heaven. Let me quiet the storm that is raging inside your heavy thoughts right now. Pause where you are and lift your eyes away from your broken circumstances. The exhaustion you feel is not a sign that you are failing your divine calling. It is proof that you have been fighting in your own limited human strength for too long. You were never designed to carry the weight of your whole future all at once. You must allow me to take the heavy burden. The modern world is designed to keep your mind in a state of constant emergency. You are constantly bombarded by stressful messages and heavy demands from the exact moment you wake up until you finally close your eyes at night, because the world never stops screaming. This constant rush creates a thick layer of dust over your spiritual intuition. You can no longer hear the gentle whispers of my guidance through the storm. You feel like you are walking blindly through a thick fog without a map. You look back at your childhood and you miss the absolute simplicity of that time. You vividly remember those beautiful days when you could sit perfectly still for hours without a million toxic worries rushing into your head, because your soul knew how to rest safely. Your spirit longs to return to that clean state of peace and absolute safety. You want to wipe the slate clean and start over without the baggage of your past failures. Hear my voice, because that renewal is exactly what I am preparing for your soul. Because I see your weariness, I have aligned something beautiful for your total restoration. My beloved child, I need you to hear this very clearly right now. The silence you have experienced for so long is not my tragic absence. The enemy has been aggressively filling the space between us with constant noise because he wants to block every single blessing that heaven has already authorized for your journey. He has created a thick static of anxiety and survival that blocks your spiritual receiver. This heavy static is so constant that my voice and my provision have been entirely invisible to you. They were standing right there on your path the whole time, but your eyes could not see them because the thick static blinded your spiritual vision completely. I have definitely not abandoned you in the dark wilderness. I have been carefully preparing a beautiful way out of your current struggle, and I have guided someone to bring you a special instrument of divine restoration. I will show you exactly what this provision is before this message ends. You will understand how to clear the noise and receive your blessings easily. But first, you need to understand what was done to block your signal in the past. You need to know exactly why it can be completely undone today by my hand, because my power is far greater than any trap the adversary has set against your life. Stay with me, because the truth will set your heavy spirit free from fear. Come closer to me now. Let the heavy static of the world fade away completely. I am standing right beside you in this dark room. You cannot see my hands because the shadow is thick, but my presence is wrapping around your tired body like a warm blanket. Breathe in my comfort right now. Lift your eyes to my face. Before I show you what comes next, I need to speak directly to the doubt sitting quietly in the back of your heart. I know exactly what you are thinking right now. You are thinking that you have heard beautiful words like these before. You have prayed sincerely. You have believed with your whole soul, and still the answer did not come. You wonder why this time would be any different from your past disappointments. My beloved child, that question does not anger me at all. It tells me how long you have been faithful in the deep dark. It shows me the depth of your hidden wounds. So let me answer your silent question plainly today. My silence in those hard years was never my total absence. There were many answers I withheld because a yes in that specific season would have cost you everything. I was not ignoring your broken heart. I was actively protecting you from a prayer you did not know was extremely dangerous for your soul. Do not let the painful memory of the waiting close your heart to what I am doing right now. The long preparation is finally finished. Now let us look at the pattern of your thoughts at 3 in the morning. I have heard the heavy prayer you stopped praying out loud because you were simply too tired of waiting for the answer. I have seen you watch other people receive the exact blessings you begged me for, and you quietly wondered if I forgot your beautiful name. You have started to believe that my silence meant total rejection. You tell yourself that maybe you were not worthy enough or faithful enough to receive my favor. My beloved child, that heavy belief is a terrible thief, and I am exposing it right now. I am stripping the authority away from that dark lie because it has locked your spirit in a cage for too long. Hear me clearly as I reveal the hidden mechanism behind your struggle. There is a massive difference between a delay that comes from me and a delay that comes from the enemy. Mine always feels like a quiet peace, even in the midst of the waiting. His always feels like constant confusion and heavy shame. What you have been feeling is definitely not my rejection. The enemy has been whispering a false meaning into my holy silence that I never put there. I call this mechanism the stolen meaning. He takes my quiet preparation and he translates it into a language of abandonment. He wants you to believe that I am hiding my face because you failed. But his words are completely hollow and they carry absolutely no authority over your life. So the long silence you took as my complete absence was actually my deepest protection. Those hard years you called wasted were not wasted at all. Those painful nights you could not sleep were never a divine punishment. They were my hands working in hidden rooms you could not see. I was carefully rearranging the whole universe on a timeline you could not measure. You were never falling behind your peers in this life. You were being made ready for a calling that requires a much thicker foundation. The delay was not me forgetting your sincere prayers. It was me guarding your destiny from a premature victory that would have shattered your soul. You must rewrite the history of your pain through the clean lens of my love. Let your soul declare its total alignment with my truth right now in this space. Pause where you are and let this realization sink deep into your spirit. Comment, "I trust your timing" in the section below as an act of sacred agreement. Let this phrase become a holy shield against the whispers of the thief. Your declaration is vibrating through the unseen realm today. So, when the waiting feels unbearable in the future, you must change your response completely. Stop asking why I am silent. Start asking what I am actively protecting in your life. Place your right hand over your beating heart and say out loud that you trust the architect of the whole story. The sensing of the delay is not your enemy. It is my holy signal. Now that your mind understands the mechanism, let me open your spiritual eyes even wider. You are standing at the threshold of a massive transition. I am moving you out of the whisper mode and into the prophetic declaration of your new season. The chains of the old patterns are beginning to loosen their grip because you chose to listen to my voice today. I see the spiritual warfare that has been surrounding your family for many years. The enemy saw the light I placed inside your soul from the beginning, and he became terrified of your potential. He knew that if you discovered your true identity, you would break every single chain in your lineage. That is why he targeted your mind with such intense exhaustion. He wanted to make you so tired that you would lay down your spiritual weapons and give up your inheritance. He used the people closest to you to inflict the deepest wounds, because he knew you loved them purely. But hear my voice today. His legal right to torment your thoughts is completely broken. Heaven has officially revoked his authority over your life in this hour. I am restoring the emotional boundaries that you lost during the years of survival. You have allowed toxic people to trample over the sacred garden of your heart because you thought it was your Christian duty to suffer in silence. But I have not called you to be a helpless victim of their dysfunction. I have called you to be a powerful steward of my glory. I am placing a holy discernment inside your spirit right now. You will begin to see through the flattery and the hidden motives of those who wish to drain your oil. You will have the courage to say no without feeling a wave of false guilt. I am making your heart purer, and I am making your vision sharper. You are no longer a target for their manipulation. Think about the biblical parallels I have recorded for your encouragement. Remember the young dreamer who was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into a deep cistern. He did not understand the silence of that dark pit. He cried out in his isolation, and he wondered why I allowed the injustice to happen. But I was not absent from his suffering at all. I was building a capacity beneath the surface that no earthly palace could ever prepare him for. The pit was not his grave because it was actually his holy preparation room. And when the timing was perfectly precise, I raised him up to save an entire nation from starvation. My child, the cave you are sitting in right now has my fingerprints on every single wall. I did not put you here to abandon your destiny in the dark dust. I am here with you in the cave, and I am already planning the exact moment you walk out into the light. Look at the stones around you. They are not the walls of a prison because they are the pillars of your future temple. You must hold the great dream I placed inside your soul with absolute tenacity. Do not let the temporary darkness convince you that I dropped my promises. The season of forced isolation is serving a magnificent purpose that will soon become visible to the physical world. The crowd has been removed from your life so that you can hear my voice without any distraction. In this empty place, I am about to show you things that require your undivided attention. You have felt a strange restlessness in your chest for the last 3 weeks. You thought it was just another wave of intense anxiety or mental fatigue. But let me reframe that sensation for your spirit right now. That restlessness is your spirit feeling the massive shift in the unseen realm before your human eyes can see the physical changes. Your soul knows that a door is about to open. I am changing the very foundation of your existence right now. I am not doing it to destroy your comfort. I am doing it to rebuild your entire life on an unshakable rock. The old structures had to shake because they were built on the sand of human validation and codependent relationships. Let the old things crack and let them fall. I am creating something entirely new today. You no longer have to fight these heavy battles with your own empty strength. The warrior who walks out of this desert will carry a weight of authority that the comfortable do not possess. Your silent suffering has produced a deep compassion that cannot be manufactured by human means. Stand firm in your position. Lean fully into my presence, because the shift has officially begun. Hear my prophetic declaration over your entire life in this monumental hour. Your long season of hidden preparation is officially closing. It is closing right now. What is coming behind this heavy silence is not just a tiny relief. It is a complete and absolute reversal of every torment you have suffered. You have wept in secret for too many years. You have questioned your own value during the dark nights. But today I am drawing a permanent line in the sand for your enemies. And as you stand at the edge of this massive transition, you will finally understand that the pain of your past was only the fertile soil for your future glory. I am stripping the authority of every single negative voice that told you your precious dreams had expired. Every door that shut tightly in your face was my loving protection and not my cruel rejection. Remember what I have named this season. It was the protective delay. It was never my final refusal. The enemy tried to use the silence to make you give up. He wanted you to believe that I turned my back on your family, but his lies are completely powerless against my covenant. You are rising out of the cold ashes of your old identity today. The shackles of generational poverty are melting away. I am doing a quick work in your life. You will see things accelerate so rapidly that your mind will marvel at the wonder. The static is clearing, and the clean path is opening before your eyes, and my glory will be fully visible in your physical circumstances very soon. Trust my movement. When I created the intricate human mind at the very beginning of time, I placed a sacred frequency at its center. Wise scientists who have spent their entire lives studying the brain have finally found it. They call it the gamma wave. It ran in your mind as a little child without any hard effort. You could hear the sweet melodies of heaven clearly back then. You felt entirely safe in the palm of my hand. This beautiful frequency is the exact reason why children learn so quickly and trust so purely. They live completely in the present moment without a single trace of toxic anxiety. When I said that you must become like little children, I was not speaking only of your spiritual attitude. I was speaking of the very signal I designed into your physical brain. It was a physical channel for divine receptivity. The enemy used the overwhelming noise of survival to suppress it. He filled your days with endless alerts and heavy bills to keep your brain in a state of panic. But I prepared wise minds at great research institutions like Princeton and Columbia to work with sound the way I originally designed it. They discovered a precise audio tool that clears the thick interference completely. You do not have to work hard for this transformation. You do not have to earn it through endless striving. You simply surrender your thoughts for 7 minutes with headphones on, and you allow my original design to restore what was muddy and stolen. This tool is a literal provision for your tired soul. It bypasses the arguments of your logical mind to heal the deep trauma in your nervous system. I am going to show you exactly where to find what they built very soon. Stay with me. Let us anchor this incredible breakthrough in your spirit right now before we move forward into the beautiful future. The declaration has been made in heaven, and the ground beneath your feet is shifting. Like this video to seal your agreement with my prophetic word. Comment. The door is open in the section below to announce your freedom to the unseen realm. Your faith is activating the miracle right now. Do not let distractions steal the seeds of hope that I am planting in your heart today. Let me show you the magnificent future You are actively becoming. I want you to picture a beautiful morning exactly 6 months from now. You wake up before your alarm goes off, and you feel different. You notice something has completely changed inside your body. There is absolutely no tight knot of anxiety waiting for you in your stomach. The room is filled with a soft, golden light. You feel a deep and profound sense of absolute security as you lift your head from the pillow without any dread. You lie there in the quiet room for a few moments, and you breathe deeply. The heavy weights you carried for so many bitter years are simply gone. Your very first thought of the day is not fear or heavy dread. Your mind asks a quiet question about what good things I have prepared for you. Your breath goes all the way down into your lungs. You smile genuinely because you actually enjoy your own company now. You get out of bed, and you walk through your home with a light heart. The relationships that used to cause you so much pain have been completely transformed by my grace. The financial lack that used to dictate your choices has been replaced by a steady flow of my abundance. You look at your children, and you see them laughing without any fear of the future. The old patterns of misery have left your household completely. That peaceful version of you is real. My child, that person already exists in my design. She is not many years away from your current reality. She is on the other side of one single belief that you are finally ready to lay down today. The bridge to her is not more frantic human effort or clever strategies. You must trust my flow. The whole distance between you and that beautiful future is simply your permission to let me guide you. It is the exact moment you finally stop carrying what I never asked you to hold. You let my hands carry the heavy load instead. Stop your exhausting striving and start your receiving right now. Open your heart to the supernatural transition that is happening in your atmosphere today. Now picture another scene just a little further ahead in your journey. You are sitting with a friend who is completely broken and crying. They are carrying the exact same heavy weight that used to steal your sleep. They tell you that they feel entirely abandoned by heaven in their darkness. And you know exactly what to say to heal their broken heart because you lived through the dark valley yourself. The very pain you begged me to remove has now become the powerful medicine in your hands. You watch the light return to their tired eyes, and you understand why your road was so long. Nothing was ever wasted in my economy. Every single bitter tear became a deep well that other thirsty souls can now drink from safely. You are no longer just a survivor of the storm. You have become a certified healer for my kingdom. That is your true destiny, and it is much closer than you think. The only thing standing between you and that life is the old exhaustion still sitting on your weary shoulders today. And I do not ask you to carry that heavy burden anymore. I have placed a divine provision on your path for this very season. It is an earthly instrument designed by wise minds to help your mind align with my celestial rhythm. Your vessel must be strong enough to hold what I am about to pour through your life before this beautiful day ends completely. You have fought well in the shadows, but the time for hidden warfare is coming to an end. The light of my presence is breaking through the cracks of your broken heart. You are being positioned for an abundance that will overflow to everyone around you. Trust the tool I have set before you now. Before I reveal the exact path to this provision, you must completely empty your hands. Let us drop the heavy bags right now. Comment. I surrender all in the section below to prepare your spirit for my final instructions. The next few minutes will define the direction of your next season. I have gifted humanity the absolute wisdom to discover what I originally placed within sound and within the design of the physical mind I created. Before I show you this provision, I want to explain how it came to exist. I do not work only through supernatural miracles in the sky. I also work directly through the hands of those I call into discovery. The researchers who built what I am about to show you were faithful servants of healing science, and I quietly guided their work for decades. Wise institutions I allowed to confirm what I placed in creation studied this closely, and I want to show you two of my children who received this beautiful provision before you arrived at this moment. I want to show you what I did for one of my daughters who sought peace for many years. Her name is Rachel, and she was a nurse in California. She spent so much time looking for relief through prayer and different spiritual methods. Her search was sincere, but her mind remained crowded. 2 weeks after receiving this provision, her entire marriage was transformed completely. Learning became completely effortless for her. She described her daily life as an enchanted story. Something cleared inside her spirit. The channel was completely blocked and now it is wide open. And for others, I moved differently. I want to show you what I did for one of my sons named Michael in Dallas. He came to this provision because he wanted focus and he wanted his children to experience well-being. 2 months later, his business grew enough to leave his job permanently. His wife said his mind seemed entirely transformed. Hard problems that used to steal his sleep now solved themselves while he rested peacefully. His brain is finally running on what it was always supposed to run on from the beginning. They call it the Genius Song. This is the official path I have placed on your journey. It is a digital audio track that will arrive in your email immediately. You do not need any special training or spiritual discipline to make it work. You only need 7 minutes of complete surrender every single day with your headphones on and your eyes closed. You are not doing any heavy mental work during this time. You are simply allowing my presence in the frequency to restore your brain. This is definitely not a meditation app or a generic frequency tool. It is not available on YouTube or Spotify or Amazon. Those platforms only carry false imitations circulating under similar names. Those fake tracks carry none of the restoration I designed for you. The Genius Song is a precise instrument that clears the enemy's noise from your mind so my provisions become recognizable again. It reactivates the sacred channel through which your deep prayers are answered. This divine provision is not for those who are merely curious about spiritual things. This is specifically for the one I have been speaking to in this message. It is for my exhausted warrior who has fought hard and done everything right but still feels locked out of the harvest. I am speaking directly to my child who has already tried everything and feels embarrassed to try once more. What failed you before required your own intense human effort and strict discipline. This requires absolutely none. I designed it to work not because of your perfection but because of my original design inside you. What the enemy called your permanent condition is just a temporary interference. Wise men charge hundreds of dollars per hour for private clinical sessions that attempt to reach this state. The heavy equipment that researchers use costs thousands of dollars in the world. But I do not call you to expensive sessions and massive machines. I place this provision within reach, specifically for the one who would receive it through a message like this one. It requires a small earthly exchange which is the size of a mustard seed of investment for the massive harvest I have prepared. And I have aligned additional gifts for you today. You will receive the Genius Child Track for your children's focus and confidence. You will receive the original prosperity text that wise authors used. You will receive a guided visualization from a trusted voice and a daily habits infographic to sustain the restored signal. The enemy always creates illusions to deceive my chosen ones. Where I place truth, the adversary always places a fake imitation. Do not wander into unverified paths that steal your peace. Access only the official provision I have placed for you below. I do not lead my children into dangerous financial risk. This step of faith requires absolutely no worldly risk. You are completely covered by a steadfast guarantee. If the restoration does not come to your mind, the earthly exchange is returned to you completely. Walk forward without fear because your peace is fully protected. Take this step of obedience today. Embrace the tool I have set before you. Find the provision I have placed below in the pinned comment and in the description because it was prepared for your soul. This is your personal invitation from Haven. Do not ignore it. Walk into your blessing now. Now, my beloved child, set aside the noise of decision for a moment. I have shown you what I placed on your path today. Whether you step forward now or later, you are still my beloved child, and there is more I want to speak over your spirit before this message closes completely. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe softly. I am still right here beside you. Let the weight drop from your shoulders. Now, you do not have to figure out the next 10 steps of your life today. I will guide you one step at a time, and I will never confuse your path. My voice brings absolute clarity, and my presence brings deep calm. Let your racing mind stop its frantic analysis. I am already working ahead of you in the future. You are a vessel fully restored to receive what I prepared. You are the one whose channel is clear and whose signal is strong. You carry the frequency I placed in you from the very beginning. It was never truly lost. It is restored right now. You are my child operating at the exact state I designed for your life. You are open, clear, and fully receptive. The noise of the enemy no longer has dominion over your mind. You receive my blessings in perfect peace. You became like a little child, and you received the great promises made to children. I am releasing a heavy blanket of peace over your household tonight. The dynamic is shifting in your home because my presence has entered the room. The people who plotted against your peace will watch you prosper in silence. They will see my favor on your life, and they will wonder how you survived the storm. You survived because my hand was holding you when you could not hold yourself. Do not let the enemy steal this peace when this video ends. Choose to stand firm in your new identity every single day. Like this message to anchor your agreement between your heart and mine. Share it with 3 souls who are secretly crying out for hope in the dark. And turn on the notification bell so you do not miss my daily guidance for your next steps. I walk with you always. I love you with an everlasting love. Sleep in my peace tonight. You are fully protected under the shadow of my wings, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Amen.